Hey everybody, today we're taking a look at the Vlad Blad Avenger 2 Pro. Ever since this machine's release, there has been a lot of people requesting for me to review this machine, and I've personally been very excited about it, especially because of this multi-stroke system that goes from 3.2 millimeters to 5.5 millimeters. It makes this machine incredibly versatile. So without wasting too much time, let's get right into it. If you want to skip ahead to a certain subject, I do have the timestamps down in the video description so you can kind of skim through the video, see if you want to hear about me talk about a certain subject or hear me drone on for the next 8 to 10 minutes. So let's start off by talking about price. So there are two different versions at two different price points. Now the first machine is the one that I ordered. It only has the RCA connection on it. It is 599 euros, which is $722 US. And then the second machine has both the RCA and a binding post for a clip cord, and that comes in at 649 euros, which is 782 USD. Now, my first impressions, when I got the package in the mail, you get this envelope and this box. Very simple packaging. I like it. It's not too frilly and fancy. In this envelope, you get a bunch of different stickers, which are really cool. And inside of the box, you get a warranty card, some literature on how to take care of the machine, and also what the strokes are best used for. And after I took the Avenger 2 out of the box, I could tell that it is a very quality built machine. It just looks like a professional's tool. It's a very simple black finish, nothing fancy, just a quality machine. Now let's move on to some specs. The machine that I got with just the RCA connection comes in at weighing 125 grams, and the other version with the RCA and binding post comes in at 135 grams. Its length and width are both 2 inches, and its height is 2.06 inches. Now, something that I found really interesting about this machine is they are claiming that it does less damage to the skin because they have something in it called the skin response system. Now, what this system is claiming to do is it leaves the needle in the skin for a little bit longer than traditional rotary machines, and then it pulls the needle out faster, causing less damage to the skin. They're saying that you're able to work on more delicate areas of the body that are more prone to overwork and more prone to blowouts. I thought that was really interesting because less damage to the skin means that your tattoos are going to heal better. They claim that this machine is noise and vibration free. Their 10.5 watt M2 motor boasts that it's able to push any needle grouping with ease, even at extremely low voltages, both with standard and cartridge needles with a membrane. There's no maintenance required on this tattoo machine. You don't have to lubricate anything. You just have to clean it after each tattoo. Now, some of the Avenger 2's parts are made from recycled aluminum. They talk a lot on their website about how they're trying to be eco-friendly. As you can tell from the packaging, it's very minimalistic. And also they're talking about buying one machine that acts as 6 machines instead of buying 6 machines. More eco-friendly, more cost-effective. I do like that. That is nice. Instead of buying 6 machines, you got 1. Now to our last and most exciting feature, which is the multi-stroke system. All you have to do is turn this knob and slide this back and forth to go anywhere from a 3.2 to a 5.5 millimeter stroke. That makes this machine incredibly versatile, which is the reason I was incredibly excited about it. So you have a 3.2, a 3.5, 3.8, 4.2, 4.7, and a 5.5 millimeter stroke. With the 3.2, that's the softest hitting stroke. If you're not familiar with stroke is the distance that the needle is traveling up and down. That's not the amount that the needle is coming out of your tube. It's the actual measured distance that your needle is traveling. So the shorter the stroke, the softer the hit. The longer the stroke, the harder the hit. So with your softest stroke at the 3.2, that stroke is really good for black and gray, using gray wash and getting smooth gradients. Moving up to the 3.5, you can still do black and gray, getting nice smooth gradients. You can also start to do some color packing, color blending. At the 3.8 stroke, you can start to do some small liners, some color packing, some color blending. At the 4.2 stroke, you can start using any type of liner you want. This is a pretty hard hitting machine. You can do whip shading, you can do color packing, color blending. At the 4.7 stroke, this is for more confident tattooers. You want to blast in any type of bold lines, pack solid color or solid black. It's a really hard hitting stroke. And finally, you got the 5.5 millimeter stroke, which I think is the longest stroke that I've ever used on a machine. This is a very hard hitting stroke. And on their website and in the directions, the use case for it is literally experimental tattooing techniques. So I guess you get to just kind of figure out what you want to use that for. I found it very useful for dot shading, stipple shading, whip shading, whatever you want to call it. I haven't used it for anything else. I think I tried it for lining. I like the 4.7 for lining better than the 5.5 though. So up next, noise and vibration. They say that this is a no noise, no vibration machine. So let's test that out. So I'm going to show you at the 3.2 stroke and also at the 5.5 stroke if there's any noise or vibration difference in between those. And then also we're going to go through the volts. I'm going to go from 3 to 10 volts. So this is 3.2 at 3 volts. Very smooth, very quiet. This is the 3.2 at 5 volts, 3.2 at 7 volts, and 3.2 at 9.5. So this is a quiet machine. It is not completely silent. And also there is low vibration. It's not a no vibration machine. So let's go to the 5.5 millimeter stroke and see how that is. All right, so this is the 5.5 millimeter stroke at 7.6 volts. It is a little bit louder and it has a little bit more vibration than the 3.2 stroke. 5.5 at 5 volts. Now this is the 5.5 at 2.5. I do like this speed for whip shading or dot shading. You can really hear that it has very spaced out hits, which is really nice that it's able to push at this low voltage. But you can do all types of weird stuff with this. Like if you just line with this, you can probably get a pretty cool effect. I've never done that before. But like the directions say, this stroke is used for experimental tattooing techniques. So you can get creative with this. Now, one thing I have noticed is with disposable tubes, this vise is very, very powerful. So you don't want to crank it down. You will break your tube. I did it one time. It's a great vise. You just have to be careful with how much you're cranking it down. So up next, we're going to talk about are batteries or an RCA connection better for this machine. The critical batteries, which I did a review on recently if you want to go check those out, those only fit on if you put the display on the bottom. They will not fit like this because this part hits the back of the machine. But if you just flip it down like this, you are able to tattoo with it. It can be a little bit annoying because this will hit your knuckle and it can be a little bit uncomfortable. It throws the weight off just a little bit. But if you want to tattoo wirelessly, which I like to do, I will throw a battery on the back of this from time to time. If you have a battery like this where the RCA is coming out of the side, this is a no-go. You can't tattoo like this. Unless you have it hiked over to the side, which is just awkward. You can't do it upwards. This just stops it. So don't plan on using batteries like this. I personally would rather the RCA connection with this because it's just much more well-balanced. It fits in your hand really nice. Your hand is able to sit right on here and you're able to tattoo really comfortably. So I would say RCA overall, you can get away with a battery, but it does have to have the RCA coming out of the bottom like this. Moving on. So speaking of balance, this is a very well-balanced machine. I do find that if you're using a cheaper disposable grip, it does become a little bit more back-weighted, which is not really a big deal. But I have been using these disposable grips from Tatsol. They are the Wrath Nexus grips. I really like these because they have a little bit more weight to them than normal disposable grips. And so then that way, the machine is a little bit more balanced and the center of gravity is right over top of my pointer finger, which is nice. It just naturally sits in your hand. Moving on to bagability. Now, I'm used to bagging things up like this, pen machines or just slim rotary machines to where you can just throw it down a clipcord cover and it's already covered basically. With this, it's a little bit more bulky and awkward. You do have to put an actual machine bag over it. You're not able to just throw this machine down a clipcord cover. So it's a little bit extra work and setup, but that's not really a big deal. Moving on to ease of cleaning. Like I said a second ago, I'm used to using smaller type rotaries or pen machines, which are very smooth and easy to wipe down. Now, when it comes to the Avenger 2 Pro, it is a lot. There's a lot of things going on, so you want to make sure that you properly clean this machine and get in all the different nooks and crannies. You don't want to leave this machine dirty because there are a lot of different dirt traps, but overall, you take what, an extra minute to clean it? No big deal. So what everyone wants to know, is it a good liner? Is it a good shader? What kind of tattooing is it best for? And should you buy this machine? First up, is it a good liner? With smaller needle groupings, I like to use the 4.2 stroke, and anything larger than a 7 liner, I like to use the 4.7 stroke. It gets the lines in effortlessly every single time. You're able to get anything from really nice fine lines to really thick, big, bold, saturated lines. So yes, it's a very good liner. Next, is it a good shader? The answer is yes. With all the different strokes that you have available to you, coupled with the 2 to 10 voltage range, you can really set this machine up to do anything that you want, from black and gray, color packing, color blending, whip shading, stipple shading, anything that you can think of, you can set this machine up to do. So what type of tattooing is this machine best for? I found that it's good for all styles of tattooing. Something that I find really cool about this machine is you can buy this as a beginner or you can buy this as a 20-year veteran in tattooing. It really does have something to offer everybody in every style. So it's just best for tattooing in general. And the last question, should you buy it? If you couldn't guess, I recommend this machine. I think that it's really cool. I think it's a good addition to the tattooing community, and you should check it out if you're in the market for a new machine. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section. If not, thank you for watching, and I hope that this video was helpful to you. Have a good day.